What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe, and welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes video with me, your bald-headed boy scribe. How the devil are we all doing today? We have just had the kit reveal for Spider Legs Maul, Maul come to the game, and there's a little bit of a hint that the next Conquest character might be a certain Old Republic Jedi descendant of Bastila Shan. It's a deal, Shan. I'm sure we'll find that out soon enough. Hold on to your keisters, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to dive into Maul's kit reveal. And here it is. I have not looked at this at all yet. I've literally just seen the notification, so we're going to go through it. He is hate-fueled Maul. He is dark side. There's a surprise. Attacker, unaligned force user. He is a large character, which means no summoned units, no allies. Twisted, broken yet sustained by hatred. Those are the pillars in which Maul, affectionately known as Maul, was born from. In reviewing our anniversary celebration plans, we knew that this was the prime opportunity to bring this partially mechanical menace to the holotables, just like Vader, right? What team he was a part of was a big point of discussion. We felt Starkiller team made for a great home, as the group inherently is a bit of a hodgepodge of different characters from all over the galaxy. This had the added benefit that we could more closely design Stranger and Maul together, making sure each brought unique mechanics that amplified the team's overall power. The team had nervous glee at the idea of putting Starkiller, Stranger, and Maul all on the same team. We hope you enjoy using Maul as much we enjoyed making him. First ability, Basic, Fractured Fury. He fractures on a basic? No way. No way does he fracture on a basic. If he fractures on a basic, deal physical damage to the target enemy, inflict stacks of bleeds, maximum of 6 stacks. Bleed is a really good debuff, which can't be dispelled or resisted until the end of the encounter. Gain a stack of Edge of Madness, just like Malicos, until the end of the encounter, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Once per encounter during his turn, Maul inflicts Fracture on the target enemy until each of his allies has taken a turn, or until he is defeated, which can't be copied, dispelled, evaded, or resisted. Bleed is minus 5% speed and tenacity and lose 5% health each turn. Remove 1 stack when any health is recovered. So that is a really good debuff, Bleed is. Edge of Madness, minus 2% defense per stack. Fracture sets speed to 0, can't gain buffs, bonus attacks, or bonus turn meter. Against raid bosses or galactic legends, minus 50% speed, doesn't stack with other speed reductions. So the key point about the Fracture is that it will tie in with the Stranger's ability to insta-kill enemies with his basic when he has got 250 or more speed. If they're fractured, their speed is 0. Starkiller Stranger will be able to insta-kill, right? So on a basic, straight away, it'll just be like, bat, basic, and then Stranger can come in and just insta-kill. This is huge. The ability, when coupled with the maximum invested version of his second special ability, is a potent combo that gives Maul and his team a way to selectively lock down targets for a limited time. Fracture and Bleed are both excellent ways to synergize with Stranger's abilities. In the snapshot of Maul from Lotho Minor, when Savage finds him, his mind is a bit broken from the trauma of his duel against Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn. We wanted to capture that thematically was a fun nod to the Fracture debuff as a bonus. So his mind is fractured. If I really want to fracture someone early, should I open up with a basic ability? Check out his second special, Howl of the Broken, if you have the Zeta for it. Maul will call his dark side attacker allies to assist, which includes himself. He is his own favorite ally, which means you can open up with special 2 to distribute debuffs and damage, and Maul, so long as he's not prevented from assisting, will follow up with a basic fracturing the target. Keep in mind, he can only fracture someone once per encounter, so choose your targets wisely. Amazing. Special ability 1, Relentless Malice, a cooldown of 3. Let's see what he does. Hibbity hobbity, your rocks are my property. Nice. We poke him in the face with the legs. Deal physical damage to the target enemy 4 times and inflict a stack of bleed, maximum of 6, which can't be dispelled or resisted until the end of the encounter. Lots of bleed on this team. If the target already has max stacks of bleed, trigger the damage. Nice. If Maul has 30 or more stacks of Edge of Madness, reduce the cooldown of Howl of the Broken by 1. If he has 60 or more, he deals an additional instance of true damage to the target enemy equal to 30% of his own max health. Very good abilities. Whilst in Territory Wars, so looks like Maul is a TW Omicron character, this doesn't surprise me in the slightest because We've already got Stranger and Starkiller with 3 GAC Omicrons apiece. It makes sense that Maul is a TW Omni specialist. Inflict an additional 5 stacks of bleed, which can't be dispelled or resisted until the end of the encounter. So this is immediately going to trigger all of their stacks of damage, which is going to be, 30% max health damage, which is quite nice. If he has 30 or more stacks of Edge of Madness, reset the cooldown of Howl of the Broken instead. That's really good. If you feel as though the best form of locking a target down is by defeating them, then this is the ability for you. Yes, the best form of control is to control their entire life, defeat the enemy straight away. This ability has a very high damage potential against single targets. When fully invested, Maul's second unique gives him the ability to ignore taunt effects during his turn. Spoiler for further below, sorry. You could choose key targets to potentially defeat outright as Maul's first move, saving your fracture play we discussed in his basic for a later point in the battle, although you'll lose that juicy taunt ignore benefit after his first turn. Sounds like he's gotten a unique that lets him ignore taunts on his first turn, hopefully ignore stealth as well, not sure on that one. This ability greatly benefits from Maul's max health value, so make sure you mod him appropriately. Well, that kind of hints at max health modding, kind of like GG. While his mind may be fractured, his body still has echoes of that deadly quickness we saw in his duel with Kenobi and Qui-Gon. We wanted to showcase that those metal spider boots aren't just for show, they're made for hurting, baby. One of these days, these boots are gonna be hurting all over you. Question: why so many instances of damage? Why not just one big number? Bigger number make monkey brain go brr. Answer: thematically, we wanted to lean into his many legs, and mechanically, this makes him extremely deadly against mechanics like Gungan Shield Generator or B1 droids, which lose stacks based on instances of damage, and I guess things like Dark Trooper as well? I'm not sure. But yeah, I suppose that makes sense. It's quite useful to take out Gungans nice and quick, get out the shield generator super quick, remove lots of stacks. It'll even work on stuff like Resilient Defense, chew through multiple tiers of that quickly. So I guess it has some benefits, right? Even on the... oh, that's actually going to be painful in Colosseum versus like the Zepho Tomb Guardians, because you're going to trigger all of their stacks of their shields, and then they're going to take all that bonus damage. So that could be a little bit deadly. How do I deal with bleed if I'm facing Maul? Health recovery of any amount removes a stack of bleed, and it's the best way to counter it. Protection recovery won't remove it. You can't staunch the bleeding with shields. Howl of the Broken. This one is the super useful one that'll let him, ignore targets and potentially put a fracture on the target enemy. Looks good. Looks like it inflicts fear as well. Deal physical damage. Daze and inflict heal immunity for 2 turns on all enemies. Can be resisted, so maybe potency is useful. Call all Darkside allies to assist. All of them is huge. Maul gains crit damage up and offense up for 2 turns. If he has 50 or more stacks of Edge of Madness, inflict fear on all enemies for 1 turn, which is irresistible. Remove 60% turn meter from all enemies, and all Darkside attacker allies gain 60% turn meter. This is huge. This is so big. Like, 60% turn meter strip, gain 60% turn meter. You've also got an AoE fear, mass assist, daze, heal immunity. Wow. Okay. Whilst in territory wars, if the target enemy is inflicted with bleed, inflict all stacks of bleed, which can't be dispelled or resisted, on all enemies until the end of the encounter. Wowza! Increase the cooldowns of the target enemy by 1 that can't be resisted. Hugely powerful. Hugely powerful. Compared to his other special ability, this deals relatively light damage, but it has a lot of power and synergies to lift up Maul and his allies. Bleed can be removed with heals, but Mr. Bond, how can you heal if you are immune to healing? Yes, good synergy. Which this ability provides for a cool 2-turn duration on all enemies. Additionally, when using this, fully invested Darkside attacker allies to assist, which includes himself and the Stranger, a deadly combo indeed. Agreed. And if you've got a healer Datacron, you can have just maximum heal immunity constantly as well. This is a great deal of synergy with other Darkside attacker allies, and if Maul is the primary battle control ability, letting him lock down whole teams for a limited time through fear and daze. Yeah, very, very powerful. We wanted to capture this ability to capture elements of his physical prowess and do have nods to his madness. We wanted to have an ability that also acknowledges he is a potent force user and trained under one of the most powerful Sith alive. Combine that with training his unhinged state and you get this ability. FAQ. Does Maul call himself to assist? Yes. Question. Does the turn meter gain on his Omicron rely on removing turn meter from enemies? So if an enemy is... No, I don't think so. It's not reliant on turn meter removal. they're two separate instances. It's kind of like when siphon happens. You know, you say it says you siphon mastery from a target. What really happens is the target loses mastery and you gain mastery. Even if they don't lose it, you still gain it. So it's kind of like that. Unique 1. Hatred sustains you. Yes, it does indeed. Whenever Maul takes damage, he gains 3 stacks of Edge of Madness, a maximum of 100 until the end of the encounter, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. And he has a 5% chance to gain 75% turn meter. Okay, that's wild. Maul can't be instantly defeated. Wild. Whilst Maul is at certain health thresholds, he gains cumulative effects. So again, he's taking inspiration from things like Malak here. Web of Descent, 75% health or left, 50% offense, can't recover health above 75%. Ooh, as you chip him away, he can't go back up. 50% less, he gains 25 speed, and when he takes damage, he instead has a 10% chance to gain 75% turn meter and can't recover health above 50%. Web of Descent 3, below 25% health, 2,200% defense and 100% offense. When Maul hits this threshold, he gains bonus protection of 100% for 2 turns and takes a bonus turn. Can't recover over 25%. So this is good and bad. It's an interesting mechanic to make him easier to kill, I guess, giving him massive bonuses as he progresses. My main bone of contention with stuff like this is in GAC, this is going to strip banners from you if you're using him on attack. If he goes below those thresholds, you can't recover it, which is a shame. In Territory War, at the start of battle, Maul gains 30% max health and offense and 100 stacks of Edge of Madness until the end of the encounter. That's really useful because a lot of his abilities do scale off that Edge of Madness. Whenever Maul is damaged, he instead has a 25% chance to gain 100% turn meter. This is so good. He's going to take so many turns, and Stranger takes a bunch of turns, and there are bonus turns as well with Stranger's kit. This is wild. We wanted to lean into the idea that as Maul is damaged throughout the battle, he is continually utilizing that damage to fuel his power and hatred, but that can come with a lot of risks. The character feels too weak, the benefits aren't impactful enough. With this, we tried to give him a very high action economy with his various turn meter gains, giving clearly communicated benefits if he hits certain health thresholds. The hope here is that seeing Maul at 25% health is a scary experience if you're facing him, and an exciting one if you're using him. Synergy. Especially if you mod Maul for health, he should be able to have a somewhat safe exit in these less than 100% health thresholds. He should feel extremely deadly even at full health, however. That's good to know. Inspiration. Throughout his appearances in the Star Wars universe, Maul often finds himself in a proverbial corner, as it were, but still finds a way to turn situations to his advantage or to fight back in situations where weaker Force users could be defeated. We want to tap into that whilst also capturing the frenzied, manic nature of his broken self during the snapshot. It opened up some interesting design space for us in risk versus reward. Question. Will I need to keep track of the stat increases at his health threshold? Each status icon appears above his head should include the cumulative benefits. That's good to know, so he'll have buffs that basically state where he's at. Do the chances of him receiving damage stack? A Web of Descent, 15%? No, it's a flat thing, so at best he's going to be 25% with the Omicron, basically. What about the Omicron? Does that stack? No, it does not. There we go. Unique 2. Always remember, I am fear. At the start of battle, Maul gains 25% max health for each other Darkside ally and 25% offense for each other non-Darkside ally. Hatred and 5 stacks of Anguish until the end of battle, which cannot be... Oh, Hatred, so he's got a revive as well, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. He loses all protection and gains that much max health. Some more Malak inspiration here. He takes reduced damage from percentile health effects, and if there is an enemy Kenobi, Maul gains 20 stacks of Edge of Madness until the end of the encounter. Very good stuff, so increase that max health, take all of his protection, add it to health. So that's what we're going to be modding for, really. It's probably going to be fast health sets with protection primaries to ramp up that protection. It converts over into max health because it converts at a higher rate, basically. The mods can have 24.5% protection, right? And health as a primary only goes to 18% or something. 16%, I can't remember. During Maul's first turn, each encounter, he ignores taunt effects. Very useful. Maul's attacks cannot be evaded or countered, and he is immune to ability block, fear, and redeemed. He can't be redeemed. He's irredeemable. If there were no allied galactic legends at the start of battle until the first time Maul is defeated, enemies defeated by dark side allies cannot be revived. Very, very useful. That helps him deal with teams like Leia, GL Leia, less of an issue with Maul. If there is at least one other active ally at the start of each character's turn, mark the healthiest unaligned Force user ally, which cannot be dispelled or resisted, and they gain bonus protection 30% until the end of their turn. So we've basically got a permanent taunt going on, right? Until Maul is defeated, enemies defeated by dark side allies can't be revived. At least one other active ally, start of each character's turn. Yeah, so this is kind of like his Maul leadership, the Mandalorian one, where the healthiest ally will constantly be taunting, but this is marked instead. Hatred, 25% crit chance, 100% defense, 100% offense. When defeated, revive, gain 100% health and 100% turn meter. Really, really useful. Anguish, he's got Anguish as well. Where did I must have missed the Anguished part. Oh yeah, 5 stats of Hates and Anguish. Takes damage at the start of their turn equal to 2% of their max health for each stack of Anguish and gains that much offense until the end of their turn. This character cannot be defeated by this damage. Redeemed from Juhani's Omicron ability. 35 speed. Whenever this character uses an ability on this turn, all other allies with redeemed assists. Whenever this character gains a buff, dispel all debuffs on all allies with redeemed. Whenever this character is damaged, all allies with redeemed gain 15% turn meter, and whenever this character is inflicted with a debuff, all allies with redeemed recover 15% protection. Nice to have that. Whereas his first, and this actually pairs well with using Juhani and TW as well, because more redeemed there, right? Whereas his first unique is almost entirely selfish and focuses on himself, his unique sprinkles a bit more synergy with his allies. A lot of it still focuses on how Maul benefits, but the last block in particular can do a lot to keep his allies safe. Yeah, lots of there's a safe mark over there to keep everybody taunting so that you can keep people alive. He's got his own revive baked in, which has got great stat benefits. He's got Anguish over here, which is going to give him additional offense and the redeemed ability. He benefits mostly from being paired with the Star Killer team because of the mixture of dark and light side allies. When Maul is muttering to himself when Savage finds him, Maul is trying to grasp fragments of his memories from lines taken from the Sith Code to give himself a little pep talk. I do the same every morning. We felt it was really powerful for this character to be paired with effects that worked for our needs mechanically, but nodded to his quote in this moment. If you haven't watched Clone Wars Rebels, we boldly recommend doing so. Why non-dark side ally? Hint of more neutral characters. It felt physically wrong to say light side synergy for Maul. Fair enough. We had written it as light side for a while and stuck out to too many of us internally, so it's language we adjusted. Not a hint at more neutral characters. So you're saying there's a chance, CG. Does the bonus protection stack? It does not, no. That's a shame. Why is Maul immune to redeemed? We found some internal testing that was a bit undesirable experience for Maul to get this, had situations where he actually weakened the Omicron's effectiveness since Maul would get it instead of Starkiller, and we want to cheapen the investment you made into the Juhani Omicron. We also had a bit of a fun thematic nod to Maul's story as a whole. Yeah, because he can't be redeemed. Using Maul, if I defeat 2 characters before Maul is defeated, then I defeat 1 character after he is defeated, can I revive all 3? Only enemies defeated before Maul can't be defeated. Only enemies defeated before Maul was defeated can't be revived. So in the above example, assuming you have a mass revive, you would only revive a single character of the 3. Yeah, that all makes sense. All right, so we knew we were getting a fracture. It looks like what Maul's going to be able to do, turn 1, you'll be able to ignore taunt, do a mass assist, potentially fear characters, lock down a unit with fracture, and then insta-kill it with stranger. That's kind of like a JMK Cat scenario, where it's like turn 2, you insta-kill a unit. He's got loads of control, loads of recovery. He applies marked to allies, so that, you've always got somebody taunting who is the healthiest unit. Very, very powerful single target damage as well. Everything that we could possibly want, I think, from a lifter. This team is going to be nuts. Stranger is already destroying meta teams without GAC Omicrons. Now it's going to operate really well in TW, and the GAC performance is going to be phenomenal. I cannot wait for this. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section down below, how do you feel about Maul Hate Fueled? I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.